Shalom, Kahala, Yahweh, Bashem, El Shai, Bashem, Rakakadash. Double honesty, apostles at Great Millstone. Salute to you, brothers, teaching the word in sincerity and in truth. So we're gonna go straight into this one. It's like a commentary style videos in it. So I was watching a bit of this. So let's go right into it because he's gonna talk about Tony Blair, and digital IDs and things of that nature. And the scripture says, "Be not ignorant of Satan's devices." That's like the start of scripture for a lot of these videos. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to know what the master plan is of all of this stuff that they're pushing.
Who knows a lot about this is Alan Miller. Alan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me here tomorrow.
I mean, what do you make of this? This is much more dark and insidious than I originally thought.
By the way, the first thing, I don't know if this is some kind of, if this is by purpose, but the first thing I see when I see this individual is the pictures, it's got a one eye on it. So I don't know if he's why, or if you just say it, or if it's a mistake. But they've set the way the camera is, the position of it, it's where the picture, you can see one eye. Let's play it, man.
I think the thing is that it's been a plan for Tony Blair and the Tony Blair Institute for a long time to have national ID cards. They were kicked out in 2011. And every single issue that comes up, it seems that the solution is digital ID. He was a massive proponent of punishing people enormously for, if they didn't want to go along with the idea of vaccine passports. He's been lobbying for it internationally. But we've seen that there's an infrastructure that's been put in place. There's a one login system, which has had whistleblowers and is very leaky and porous. It's a big security threat with potential data breaches and a hacker's delight. That's on one side of things. On top of that sits the government UK digital wallet, which they want to rebrand as a brick card. It sounds all cool, right? Cool Britannia, like all that stuff we heard in the...
Yeah, they're just pushing the digital wallet and that, and then they started calling it a brick card because before Starmer come out and was saying, we're going to... And why would he... Why, they're using the boats. Why on earth would he just come out and push this? If this wasn't what was on the agenda the whole time, that Blair push it, introduce it to the people, into the government and that, which we already know. We already showed who he works for, what he's all, who his friends are. Let's just put it like that. So they've been pushing this in the parliament. So when Starmer set up, and that's why you got to understand that, we voted Labour, you voted this, you didn't vote. Listen, man, they put in who they want to put in. There's a reason why the Conservatives weren't leaving for all that time, and people were fed up with them from before. So how come they didn't already leave? It doesn't make no sense, man. They set up who they want, and this Keir Starmer cat, just like they could have used anybody, but it wasn't for like Rishi Sunak to push it. They got a script, and the Conservatives' job was to jack everything up to exhaust people. Now, if the Conservatives are going to exhaust people, that people be really drawn out,
in the 90s and the noughties. But actually, what this really represents is a situation where it's a pay-per-please society. It's for every area of our life now, we're told this is what's going to be required. And the fact that in 2021, they're already doing it in parts of the world, places like Bosnia-Herzegovina, also in Georgia. We also did a small report on it being rolled out in Ukraine. And in Ukraine, there's a couple of joint investments, one of them for several million, one of them for 150 million with USAID. We all know about that because of Doge and Elon Musk. But
yes.
Investment there in infrastructure with DIA, where you've had a situation where they were weaponizing all of that around vaccine passports and imposing measures on citizens. And so what we're saying at the
Okay, this is the type of video that you put on Odyssey when you start. But so what we're seeing is an agenda, because they're pushing it in different countries. In different ways. Now I think what got the big thing that when they pushed it over here was, number one, because it's the UK. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got all these countries, people in Europe, if they want to make more money, they come to the UK. Because that's just what it is. People are going to America, but I guess the UK is closer, so they'll come to the UK. But at one point, everyone was going to America, you know what I'm saying? And people ain't really going to run to go over there right now. Look at what's going on. And that's the Lord. That's Isaiah, where the Lord says, make bare the leg and all of that. Because he's exposing America. You know, let me get that quickly. Read it right quick. If you can find it, I'm going to spell it right. Okay, let's see if we can. Isaiah 40, I'm thinking 50, Isaiah 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And the damn sure ain't being called that right now. Okay, you got trumping. I mean, look what's going on over there. ICE. The military told to mob on it in their own states. The benefit cuts, all of this. You know, and he's pretty much all the European nations not, you know, falling out with him, with Trump, you know. Let's carry on with this.
Together declaration, and we'd love your listeners and viewers to get involved, is that we have a number of things people can do.
Amazon made $638 billion
it's a global
in
agenda
2024. Now, the majority of that
that they're using, that they're pushing. By the way, the UK, in London, you got the banks. Which they've got their job with this as well when they're pushing that digital pound.
Pushing 8 million directors, trying to force them onto digital ID, and we've got a open letter.
And they're pushing digital currency behind the scenes. Because the ultimate goal is to get everybody chipped to the mark of the beast RFID chip.
A petition that people can sign, but also to contact councillors, MPs, the Department of Business and Trade, the Institute of Directors, and to push back with events, leafleting in local areas, protests and rallies, and across the board, push back and say that the British public do not need this and don't want it. Same with our veterans.
Oh, by the way, right, they control. You see, what you'll find out is that with a lot of these individuals, is they won't criticize the small hats, and then that just shows you who they bought and paid for. So they'll be pushing all this, but that's because the elites they work with order of chaos. They work with Hegelian dialectic. They work with both sides of the coin. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be for arguments and against arguments for this digital ID. That's just the truth. And then you're gonna have shills and shit like that. Okay, that when they was signing that petition, all them petitions, I think they're still signing them and all that. People go, oh yeah, they're signing the petition. So damn what? What the hell does that mean? They ain't gonna do it? Come on, man. and that was through their you know, through their avenues anyway. Any damn way.
1.8 million of them. We're doing a similar thing, getting veterans who saying, we fought for liberty and privacy and freedom. We don't want this. And with our kids, of course, because the children wellbeing schools bill has got something integrated within it that will mean all our children will be given a unique digital ID. And what we're saying is that none of this was in a manifesto. We've now discovered through these FOIs with Lewis Brackpool. By the way, we've got an event on at the...
Bro, I just need to know, bro, where you got that single eye on your wall, man. You know, you're trying to watch the video, and all you got that's just staring back at you. What's up, bro? What's this? Alan Miller.
of November, Lewis Brackpool will be speaking a month.
Oh, right. Okay.
You should come along to that. You're invited.
Thank you. There you go. I'll take this invite very seriously, Alan. Thank you.
Yes, no, you should definitely come. But it's all about digital ID and the state of the nation and what we can all do to fight back. There's May elections, but we keep on campaigning. People are doing protests around the country. And it's really important. For instance, the May elections is going to be a real bellwether for what happens next. And we've already seen in the last elections the transforming political landscape. But every day we...
Elections are fucking rigged, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. Like, look, I'll show you something. Well, I've done a video on it before, but, you know, when Trump, like, you can cast a lot, right? You can go and bet on politics or bet on boxing, or let's just say if you think this boxer's going to beat this boxer, or this MMA fighter would beat this dude, or whatever, you do the same for politics. So I looked up the politics for Kamala versus Trump. Now, the moment I knew Trump was going to win was, and I said it in the video when the election was going on, because I looked it up, right? And Trump, if you put £1,000 on, you would only make £1. That's how confident. And this was when they were saying that Kamala was actually winning the votes. So it was set up. It was fucking set up, man. All right. Pardon the French. So check this. Let's do this. You know what I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna show you something which we all know. Let's go here. Let's check this. Okay, there's a lot of information on this, and remember they've been putting brain chips in the individuals. Let's do this brain chip. This is just showing you. And we know this. This is just to show you where this is leading to. So you got a company called Brain Chip. Remember that Musk all in the news all the time, and then he just started chipping people's brains. Okay, Brain Chip's ambitious technology roadmap unlocks many Gen AI applications. So you got AI, and they're calling it Brain Chip. So now let's check this. So what it's doing is showing me this company here. Just all part of it. Elon Musk Neuralink says 10,000 patients have signed up for its Brain Chip 3 weeks ago. 1 week ago, Brain Chip CEO to present an AI advancements at Semiconductor Australia 2025. So let me go here. Actually, let me finish this. Take the millstones Isaiah 47:2. Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. And this society is being exposed of, mainly starting with America. That it's just been exposed that it's satanic, and that America's Babylon the Great, spoken of in the book of Revelations. And it shall oppress the saints, and it will be destroyed. Okay, and the Babylon and this beast system are gonna push this plan of chipping everybody. Major prophecy. So everything's coming out. Let's do this quickly. Oh, and by the way, it says, I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Because the one the world calls Jesus Christ, which they mock the Lord and Messiah, Yahweh Shai, in Hollywood, in the media, and just in general. That's because of Satan, right? And it's all come out to worship Baphomet, and there's all types of videos on it. So if you don't know at this point, then you were really in darkness. For as for a Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms, which there was at one point. Everybody wanted to go America. Now everybody's talking shit about America. Everybody's like, that ain't the place, man. That's not the place to be. Okay. Look what's going on in the joint. So anyway, I'm gonna let me come back because I'll start going into breaking America down. It's just that's Revelations. That's Revelations 17, which goes into some other things as well. Because you got Babylon the Great, you got the beast. Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. That's where it's going to lead to. So the reason why they're already 13-year-olds want them with a digital ID. The reason why they're saying that is because they're already lining you up for you and your kids. Everybody in society to be chipped. That's why they're talking about it's the intelligence age. And AI, drones, all of that stuff. Drones, AI, all of this. And we can go on. So let's play this. Let's see what else. What's his name? Alan Miller has got to say.
We can have an impact, and we've got a toolkit for directors. We're saying that there's no reason for them have to do this. They're not going to do this, and there's lots of ways that we can push back. And the main thing is, what kind of Britain do we want? Do we want one where we have our privacy, where we have the liberty that we stand on the...
You know what, man? Y'all don't look, man. What's that? George Orwell's. But what Britain do you want? This has to go down. One thing Britain is known for, right, is being a big brother society. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What kind of Britain? It's the most watched. It's got the most cameras of anywhere on the planet. If I think that's right. I know that London's got the most cameras. But let's check. Let's do this. Big Brother, right? And y'all were obsessed with this show. It's all filth and scandals. But look at it. This was a show that aired in the UK, following a group of people as they live in isolation from the world in the Big Brother house under constant surveillance. And this is the kind of stuff that Brett's, okay, be watching, right? Look at the symbol, was the eye. And it's all about scandals, sex scandals, all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? And there you go. There goes that one eye again, you know, the eye of Satan. All right, now let's put in Big Brother Britain. Let's put in that. Society. Okay, they keep showing me the program. When you search on here, it's different to the search on the UK reality show Big Brother was aired in 2000. Is named after the omnipresent authoritarian leader in George Orwell's 1984 novel. 1949, novel. 1984. The show intentionally references the novel's concept of constant instant surveillance, which is what. So they wrote books on this. They got shows on this. So this ain't just something that it's just popped up. You know what I'm saying? George Gilbert. I don't know who the hell this dude is. Let's go back here.
Shoulders of the giants from that we are the custodians of, and what are we going to do to defend it? The good news is obviously lots of people do not want a papers please society, and one login is a key area of the problem, but we can win this together. If people come to togetherdeclaration.org, they can find out more about it.
Right, okay. I mean, people like you are absolutely pushing back on this, clearly, with this big plan, and thank goodness, because I think there are a lot of people that do not want...
This Alan Miller looks like another Brit that I can't think of his name. Which, by the way, the Britain means covenant man, sons of the covenant. We're the real sons of the covenant. You had Japhet over here, then you had Jake over here, so... The original people over here were dark. It was tribal peoples, you know. You had these true skins and all that, and the different people of you know, ancient Britain and that, dark skin. That's just facts, and you can tell. But y'all ain't ready to have that conversation. Y'all just ain't ready to have that conversation, man. Which we've been putting shows out on it.
This. They do not want Keir Starmer sticking his grubby little fingers into any part of their life. And it's interesting, we could see with the petition, you know, it got a lot of love. It got millions of signatures, actually, to push back against digital ID. We can see that, you know, Starmer's rhetoric publicly, he has really dialed it back. But then when I saw him in his trip to India, he was actually talking very liberally about digital ID. He was saying that it could control our taxes, which scared me because he sold us the line over here that it was about stopping illegal immigration. So what is it, Keir? Like, you know, is it to control our taxes, or is it to stop illegal immigration, or is it for both? I mean, do you actually see him implementing this? Because it is going to be a 2029 basically rollout, right?
Today, these comedians are competing to see if they can work out what these 5 people do.
It's not going to be a 2029 rollout.
Well, in the Labour Together plan, which is the policy document that they're quoting Britcard from, Morgan McSweeney was the head of it, and they're the guys that are pushing it. They said, well, it would take till about 2027. It would obviously have to go to Parliament. They're talking about having a consultation. It's going to have to go to the Lords, ping pong. And, you know, there may not be...
They actually said, there was a news report that they were going to just bring out... before it was being called a Britcard, they said it was going to bring it out in June. I actually did the videos on it where they said that they're going to have this, but it wasn't mandatory, but you could sign up on the .gov website, and, you know, for the wallet, the passport wallets, and they were going to just start with your driving license. Then you didn't hear nothing when June came about it, because this was on official government websites, and then he just came and made this speech, and they just went even further and said, "Fuck it, we're just gonna push it." And they wasn't pushing that in the media before when they was gonna put it out there. Then he just came out with this, so ain't gonna be no 2029. They just do what they want.
Election in 2029, it may well be in 2027. Reform, for instance, have said that they're opposing it. We had an event, they came onto our stage, Nigel Farage said, you know, I'm opposed to it, we won't have it. I think that if that's in a manifesto of an opposing party, lots of the public will support that. But I think the thing is that we've got a one login system that's already got people on there. And
by the way, he said he ain't shirting on that. Oh, look, she got shocked. She took her eyes. Listen, y'all just need to get fucking with the program, man. So how do you, like, they've been writing about this from the 30s, man. What are you, what's up? Man, let me go back.
Pushing that for all kinds of have it. I think that if that's in a manifesto of an opposing party, lots of the public will support that. But I think the thing is that we've got a one login system that's already got people on there, and they're pushing that for all kinds of services. So if you're young and you want to start driving, the DVLA, if you're a director that's setting out, there are lots of ways to not.
So they're already pushing it, and that's the truth. They're already, if you've got a business, you're a business, like, they're already pushing what you need to get signed up to this thing. They're already pushing that. So all this talk about 2029, what a stupid thing to say. You fucking, anyways, you know, this is let me go back.
I'll do it. You don't have to go in the one login system for all kinds of services. So if you're young and you want to start driving, the DVLA, if you're a director that's setting out, there are lots of ways to not. You've got a one login system that's already got people on there, and they're pushing that for all kinds of services. So if you're young and you want to start driving, the DVLA, if you're a director that's setting out, there are lots of ways to not do it. You don't have to go in the one login system. They talk about convenience, they talk about security, but actually what this will be is a central database to be able to snoop and spy and monitor. And also that you're constantly, but you have to prove who you are. We've never agreed to proving in all walks of life who we are. We're free. This is our country, right? We didn't, and not only the identity issues around all the things we experience all the time, right? The hundreds of millions of people that have had data breaches.
Yeah.
The geezer actually said we're free. This is our country. Are you for real, man? Try and own some land. Try and. You go say, but you can technically. None of y'all don't own no land. You're stuck in flats. Have you seen what the average flat in the council? Just watch any documentary. Britain, broken Britain. Britain's a joke. Y'all are fucking poor, man. What are you talking about? All up and down the country. These different towns. Let's not even talk about the Northerners. Okay, because they've got some of the poorest towns you got in England. I'm talking about white people. Okay, what they call the Brits, what they call themselves Brits, all right? But listen, man, you got Israelites scattered all over the place, so you got Jakes amongst them, you know what I'm saying? Everywhere, you're going to have Jake small hats. That every now and then you'll get some cats spitting lyrics, and some white boys spitting lyrics, and these dudes are Jakes. You got Jakes, you got white Jakes everywhere in England, you know what I'm saying? Which go back to dark peoples. Then a lot of them go back to Irish. A lot of you calling yourself English, you're actually Irish. Because you was like you might have been your grandparents, you don't want to associate with it or something like that.
Problems getting locked out, not getting services. Not just that, but we've seen that the Department for Work and Pensions have now got.
You're supposed to be free, but you're in the country where the top Rothschilds live at. That's a joke. That's a joke. I don't see none of you over here doing any homesteading. Because all the land is private, it's all owned by the government over. You can't own that. Oh, but you can, but if you try and do it, all right, do it, man. Let's see you do it. When you drive through that countryside, that's all private land, owned by the government, owned by the crown, queen, and that, or to say the king. You gotta say the king now. The crown, that's the Rothschilds own that anyway. That's the Rothschilds right there. The crown. So they don't allow you they all you got is apartments, flats. And you step up in the system and you get a deal like this dude here on the right with that one eye behind him, man. You know what I'm saying?
Are pushing for the ability to go into our banks and take money out, unelected civil servants, Liz Kendall, who's now been moved from there into this arena. The whole push is one that's very dystopian. It's very draconian. The idea that from the debanking experiences to the free speech issues we've all experienced to the two-tier policing, that these technocrats now monitor, evaluate, track, censor, limit, check everything from what your potential carbon footprint is to what you're saying online to where you're going. All these things are not British, and that's why together we're saying everyone should get involved and have their voices.
They're not British. So you know what's funny about you individuals, man? You don't know what the hell is British, man. You guys are in a Roman system talking about what's not British and what's not British and all that. You don't even know what the hell kind of system you're in. You had the Middle Ages, which was ruled by so-called Negroes, right? You had England, and that was a province of Rome. And they got pushed back by the Picts and all that when they was trying to get up to Scotland and shit. And pretty much it's a reincarnation of that, a province of Rome. So how is it not? So what are you talking about, man? y'all, and you know what? I'm not. You ain't. You in the modern speech system talking about it ain't British. Well, you know what? What we already broke down what it really means. The sons of the covenant, and y'all ain't that. Y'all ain't into that. You don't read the scriptures. You don't read the Bible. You don't believe in that. You've got a Roman system going on where you're voting. Get real with it, man. Let me bring this out. Let me bring this out right here. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but short time. So they know they got a short time, and that's why you can say that they're crashing out. But he said it, draconianism, totalitarianism. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff, yeah. And that's just the truth right there. So this is what's coming, man. Everything is shutting down. All this that you know, and they've already had it set up that way. It's, the country that you live in is not what you think it is. The country that you live in, a lot of years, you get shot that they support to small hats. Well, they're the ones that writ the letter for them to be over in that land, over here. So I think, yeah, it was them that said set that up. That they're always supporting them. So even to get into the seat here, you have to support them. And that's the same thing with America. So do you really know what's really going on? Talking about, oh yeah, you don't know what's going on. And like, let's read this. Let's get this. Revelation 13:11. I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. There goes the two-party systems, conservative, Labour, Republican, Democrats, and acting like, oh, well, we're trying to help the people. But really, it's a draconian system, okay? And they're showing their horns. Basically, what they're doing right now is showing who they really is, showing what they're really all about. That's what's going on here.
Is heard and fight back. We can win this is the answer.
No, it's a great movement. You can actually, because I know that the people are behind you. I mean, I know the young people think it's like another card on their Apple Pay.
Look, man, this is BS. This is why us, the prophets, the scriptures that, well, then you shall know the bring a prophet among you, because this is what they're coming out with, is BS. You can push this. You ain't gonna. The Most High's got to be. First of all, the Most High is the one that's gonna make this happen. It says it. We read it. That no man might buy or sell. They're gonna have that out there, but everyone's gonna have to get chipped to make a transaction. So you talking about you're gonna push this back? This is BS. You're just gonna be a normal Roman wage debt slave. You get to get drunk on the weekend when you got to go back to we're reading on a Saturday, because Sunday don't get too drunk because you won't wake up for work. So you really think that you're gonna keep voting? You really think that that's how it's gonna be, man? You got all these prophecies, 2nd Esdras 9, 2nd Esdras 15, all these prophecies, Revelations 20, where they're gonna start getting them guillotines out. For people that don't accept the mark of the beast, they're gonna have guillotines.
and they're a little bit misguided with what this actually is. Luckily, I've actually got someone from Reform in the studio here. Jamie, I mean, what is the Reform is saying they want to scrap it? What is the reasoning behind that? They don't want to become a papers please society. Is it anti-British in their mind?
Well, I think firstly, Reform would never come up with such a stupid idea in the first.
It don't matter what they say, because these parties, like you said, you got one party on the right, one on the left, and basically they got to appease how you feel. But secretly, they're all working. They're all part of the same beast. You ain't sitting in any of them political parties, right? Unless you've sold your soul out to the Illuminati. Right? You have to sell the soul. You think Nigel Farage ain't? Come on, man. You really think that he's just part of the people? He's sitting there at the bottom and he cares about you people at the bottom, man? You're that fucking deluded, man. But that's the same thing you were saying about Labour. Yeah, they care. You know what I'm saying? And it's a joke. And now Reform, if they get in, they'll do. Y'all were saying that about Labour. Yeah, my whole life I've been hearing that. The old school Windrush and Jamaicans that came here and all that, and planes or whatever, however they got here, and and Queen Elizabeth ships and all that. And they was Labour. You have to vote Labour, man.
So the idea that we would ever kind of support a policy as ridiculous as this is for the birds. As a party, we believe in individual liberty. We believe in...
The scripture talks about there should be uprisings of the people, because they symbol liberties. Are you serious, man? That's why everyone's indebted to them banks. And you're talking about freedom. Y'all, come on, man. You're just crazy.
Freedom. We are the only genuine...
Hearts are getting warmer.
Genuine patriotic party that the British people have the opportunity to vote for. As far as I'm concerned, on a personal note, I'll tell you who I am if I have to, by law, or if you ask me and I'm prepared to tell you. Everybody has the right to a private life. Everybody has the right to...
This just keep them as a patriotic wage debt slave. That's why y'all are just robots, man. I don't even think I'm going to even listen to any more of this.
Privacy, and that's something that I think digital ID completely ignores. It's a fundamental right that we have as citizens of this great country. But what I think concerns me about digital ID more than anything is actually, if you look at how the banks are no longer on the high street, you go to park your car, you can't use cash. I could list so many things that in this country we now can't do.
So why is that? And that's because this agenda is coming from the top elites. That's why. It's coming from the top elites, man. So that's why they didn't ask you, do you want these banks shut? How do you feel about this? They didn't ask you none of that, man. You know what I'm saying? So when they start pushing this chip, man, y'all are gonna be all shocked. I can't believe it. But there's people that have woke up to what's going on, but they ain't gonna, like the RFID. But why don't we talk about the mark of the beast, the RFID chip? We're gonna talk about the digital ID. Let's talk about the RFID chip, and the fact that you got people getting chipped and brain chipped and all that. Let's talk about that.
because of an obsession with digital. We all know that digital and AI has its uses. It's been fantastic in things like the NHS for more speed when it comes to outcomes for people. It makes processes better. But frankly, I like paper. On a private note, I like paper.
Yeah.
I like to spend cash, and I think it's wrong that we are forcing people into this digital way of life. And not one political party has ever had a manifesto commitment to do this or a mandate to do this. When did Labour during the general election talk about rolling out digital ID? What they are doing, because they've got an ideological obsession with controlling people, that is what left-wing people are like. They love the control. They like to control minority groups and say they can't go anywhere because they're a minority group, rather than encouraging them to become entrepreneurs and succeed.
Yeah.
The left love to control. This is over control of the state. It's big state. It's tech knowing everything about you. And
So you think that these all these ain't gonna get the chip? You think that they're just against this? Come out, where did it come from? That's why y'all don't. All of these individuals are sold out to the Illuminati, man. Some of them are born into top. A lot of them are born into top families anyway. Like certain types of families that are linked in with the elites and stuff like that. Tony Blair, his family was slave masters. Just look it up. So, do you really think that? Man, come on, man.
it's something that they are now trying to use illegal migration, which is the number one thing British people are concerned about. That's why Reform are rocketing in the polls. That's one of the reasons that people are every day seeing on their TV screens hundreds and hundreds of unvetted men come to this country, and the Prime Minister has sought to mislead the people of this country and say, well, hang on a minute, download an app on your phone, let us see and know everything about you on a digital footprint, and we can stop the boat. I mean, what a load of rubbish. People don't buy it.
No, you're right. Digital ID equals digital control. And I think during the Southport riots, Starmer showed where his ideological colours truly lie. And I think that obviously he's kind of covered that up a little bit because of the public backlash. But you're right. I think a lot of people dismiss Keir Starmer as quite stupid, but...
See, this is the thing. I'm gonna close this out here because they keep just put Starmer, this, that's all BS, man. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the real issues. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna close it out. Shalom.